to the Kenya National Theatre, this iconic institution. It's our pleasure to host you today. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to all our friends watching us via the internet, live on our live stream at ushahidi.com. We're delighted that you've made time to join us today, and we're honored to host you as well. As a Kenyan, there have been several times when I've been very proud of my country. For example, a couple of weeks ago, Kenya finished top of the medal table at the World Athletics Championship. A day that filled me with immense pride, and I know it did the same for many of you too. Election Day 2007 was another day that made me very proud to be a Kenyan. I hadn't been able to register to vote in 2002. So Election Day 2007 was extra special for me. Like many of you, I was up early in the voters' queues that were jovial and pleasant despite the length. And I remember at the end of that night going back to my polling station to observe the vote. Our country descended into a period of post-election violence. Our businesses, our homes, and most importantly, our families were affected. At a time like that, it's very easy to feel alone. It's very easy to feel helpless. Patriots who refused to give up on Kenya. Together, we started to notice a few things with Juliana Rotich, Eric Hirschman, Ori Okolo, and David Kobia, the founders of Ushahidi. We noticed that several of the incidences that we were seeing were either underreported by the mainstream media or traditional reporting channels, or were completely unreported. The further away you moved from urban centers, the more this was amplified. There are things that happened in the corners of Kenya that didn't make any official report, didn't make any news channel. We decided to build a tool that would allow any Kenyan, with whatever technology they have available in their hands, send information about what they were seeing directly to us. We decided to build a tool to allow Kenyans to raise their voice. We built a tool called Ushahidi. And to tell us a little bit more about it, please welcome on stage my colleague Angela.
How's everyone doing this evening? Are you as excited as I am to be on stage today? Awesome. Ushahidi is a Swahili word that means testimony or witness. Ushahidi is also the name that was given to the platform that was built to give ordinary Kenyans an opportunity to create, collect, and curate data around the post-election violence. This platform was deliberately designed to give ordinary Kenyans across this entire country a voice when no one else could or would. This platform allowed for Kenyans to raise their voice. Now, what we were experiencing back in 2007 here in Kenya was not unique in many ways. Citizens across the entire globe were demanding to be heard. Citizens across the entire globe were demanding to have a say in stories being told about their locations. They were demanding to be included, not excluded, in conversations that were being made around matters affecting them. From crisis response to election monitoring, from human rights mapping to corruption mapping. This tool that was built out of problems you always tend to associate with Africa, low bandwidth, bad governance, was being used across this entire world to disrupt the way information was flowing for meaningful impact in our communities. On April 25th, 2015, a massive earthquake hit the people of Nepal with devastating effects. More than 9,000 people were killed, tens of thousands injured, and property worth millions destroyed. a group of people at Kathmandu Living Labs and Nepal Monitor came together to figure out how to help in this situation. Let's hear a bit more from them on how they used Ushahidi.
My name is Neil Horning, and I was the coordinator for QuakeMap.org, which was deployed by Kathmandu Living Labs. And basically, how that happened is I had a deployment called NepalMonitor.org, which was a human rights and security incident deployment in Nepal for about 3 years. And then on the day after the quake happened, Kathmandu Living Labs deployed QuakeMap.org, and rather than turn my map into a quake map, I decided to help them out. And so they put me in charge of it and the coordination of it, along with the rest of the coordination team, Sazal and Punit from KLL, and then we managed that going forward. We were then able to take that and set up a dispatch team with about 25 volunteers coming in for the first few weeks, where we were able to call up organizations in the field and get that needs data out to the organization, and then we were able to track whether those organizations were responding, whether they were able to meet people, and then call them up again and verify that whether they'd received. So we're really proud of what we did, and we hope to keep going forward with Ushahidi and maybe have a deployment ready for the next disaster.
For me, I think this is a really powerful example of how a platform built by Kenyans is being used across the entire world to revolutionize the concept of humanitarian response. This is just one of the ways Ushahidi has been used to connect people on the ground with people who can help them out in a real-time fashion. Neil and the team at Nepal Monitor and Kathmandu Living Labs decided that they needed to make sure that the people on the ground were being heard, that what their needs were being directly transmitted to humanitarian responders, and that there was no assumption being made on what exactly it is that they needed. And we've seen this happening during the Haiti earthquake, where Ushahidi was deployed again back in 2010, and during the Japan earthquake. Now, Neil said he's very proud. I think we are even more proud of him and the impact that they were able to create in their community using our tools. Now, let's move on to something that moves a little closer to home and affects us in our daily life. Studies by the United Nations have shown that 1 in every 3 women across this entire globe have experienced some form of sexual and gender-based violence. About 50 of the women in this room have probably been harassed at one point in their lives, but haven't spoken up. You haven't told anyone about it. Why? Why don't we speak up? Maybe it's because we feel ashamed. Or maybe it's because we feel like speaking up won't make a difference. Rebecca Chow and Angie Goslan were tired of being hounded on the streets of Egypt. They were tired of the disrespect. They were tired of feeling helpless. They decided that they were going to deploy Ushahidi to raise the voice of women in Egypt. Let's hear a little bit more from them on what they were doing around this issue.
My name is Nora, and I'm the Marketing and Communications Manager at RASMAP. RASMAP is an Egyptian volunteer-based initiative that is working to create an environment that does not tolerate sexual harassment. And we do this by combining an offline and online approach. Online, we are collecting reports and mapping them, reports of sexual harassment. And in parallel, we are deploying hundreds of our volunteers to go out in the streets using, among other things, the data that we get from our reports to convince people in the streets that sexual harassment is a huge problem, first of all, and secondly, to convince them of their responsibility to actually stand up and speak up against sexual harassment when they see it happening. And this way, we hope to re-establish social consequences for sexual harassment so that harassers will be deterred from their harassing behavior in the first place.
Rebecca, NG, Amel, Sausan, Noura, and the entire team of volunteers who are working on Harassment are using Ushahidi as a tool that's a part of a much bigger strategy that is trying to create awareness about something that we need to stop accepting in our societies. They're trying to create awareness about sexual harassment against women. But beyond that, they are trying to reset the relationship between women and men in Egypt. I think that's pretty powerful. These guys are champions. And I think we should all try and emulate being people like that. Now, from the examples I've shown you, you can see that Ushahidi is a really good way of connecting citizens with other citizens. But Ushahidi is also really good at connecting citizens and their governments. Let's invite Declan on stage to speak a little bit more to that.
Thank you, Angela. Good evening, Nairobi. Niaje Wasei. As you can probably tell, I spend my days at Ushahidi exploring ways that citizens engage with their governments, and indeed, how to make governments more responsive to their citizens. Elections are a key part of this relationship. Earlier this year, the most populous nation in Africa, Nigeria, went to the polls. We worked with a team of local partners, local organizations, such as Connected Development, Reclaim Niger, Enough is Enough, and others. And we salute the work that they put into that election. One of those deployers, Connected Development, is a long-standing partner of Ushahidi. They set up a platform that they call Xabi, and they used it to monitor their election. These are citizens who are passionate about their nation. They want to make sure that elections are free and fair. But don't take my word for it. Let's listen to Xabi.
Oludotun Babayemi is my name. I'm from Nigeria and I use Ushahidi. One of the reasons why personally I use Ushahidi and refer it to my organization is because of the way it handles real-time information and the way it visualizes it. And also because it gives other methods of integrating information from other platforms like Twitter and Facebook on it, and particularly SMS, which is being used mostly in this part of the world. I've been a fan of its crowd map that I've been using since 2012, and I think that has been a very, very simple tool to use in getting across information from citizens to the government and even to intermediaries that uses information. So so that has been still going back to how flexible you can pick the crowd map and turn it into information that you can use within your organization. Going into many countries, you can use it, and it's been flexible. It's the way it allows you to integrate every other social media platform, Twitter, Facebook, and SMS platform has made it so wonderful.
This was the first time that a civilian government handed over power to another civilian government. We're very proud of our Nigerian brothers and sisters, those who are watching on live stream and those who may be here, and we're honored to be part of that story. But elections are not the only time that citizens need to engage with their governments. In times of crisis, citizens want to feel connected, cared for by their governments. One such crisis erupted in South Sudan in 2013 that left many Kenyans stranded. Our president made a commitment to bring home all the Kenyans that had been stranded. At that time, the government of Kenya approached Ushahidi to work together to develop a solution that would ensure that happens. As many families were enjoying the Christmas holidays, Ushahidi staff and government officials had set up a war room or a crisis situation center where they collected data about Kenyans in South Sudan. They collected a lot of information, including who is there, where they are, what their ages, what kind of assistance that they needed. Together, they collected all this information and passed it on to the Kenya Defense Forces. The result, the picture says it all. This is one of my favorite pictures. As a father, as a person who has loved ones, as I'm sure all of you do, because it speaks to my heart. This shows the Kenya Defense Forces bringing home some of the over 3,000 people that were rescued from South Sudan. As many families were enjoying their Christmas holidays, eating ingoho, as many of us do. For international audience, ingoho means chicken. People were hard at work, making sure the families were being reunited. That's Ushahidi at work. That's impact. And back to you, Daudi.
These are just 4 stories of the powerful way people around the world have been able to use Ushahidi to have a positive impact in their country in the last 2 years. In fact, since 2008, there have been over 90,000 different Ushahidi deployments created, the equivalent of 32 different maps created every single day. Over 6.5 million people, the population of Sierra Leone, have been directly impacted by Ushahidi deployments. You're talking about 2,300 plus people every single day. 17 million people, the population of the Netherlands, have been reached by the Ushahidi platform around the world. Talking about over 6,000 people every single day since 2008. Ushahidi has been translated into over 50 languages, the latest language being Bahasa, and we thank our friends in Indonesia for their hard work in making that happen. Ushahidi has been used in 159 countries around the world. We truly are a global technology company made in Africa. But we didn't stop there. Since 2008, Ushahidi has constantly innovated, constantly coming out with new products to tackle the challenges in our communities. CrisisNet, Swift River, Roll Call, CrowdMap, all tools that Ushahidi have pulled out in the last 7 years. We've launched not 1, but 2 for-profit startups. Brick, the rugged, go anywhere, do anything, internet connectivity device that is building high-quality technology for the 1 billion people who are not yet online. We've also launched Poply, a new platform that will transform the way that you interact with your data. Ushahidi is at the center of an ecosystem here in Nairobi that has impact beyond our borders and is a case study around the world. iHub, Nairobi's innovation hub, that is now the global leader in community-centered innovation. MLab, that's doing the same for mobile technologies that have high impact across the continent. Akira Chicks, a fantastic organization that's bridging the gender divide in technology under the slogan, she builds, she leads, she serves. Gearbox, the newest member of our family, Nairobi's first prototype and makerspace, that is answering the question, what happens when you take our decades-old Juakali industry and merge it with our new upcoming software industry? What type of fantastic tools will they build together? Ushahidi is also one of the implementing partners of Making All Voices Count and the Resilient Network initiatives. Global programs that are focusing on the area of citizen government engagement and how we can leverage technology to make those relationships better. We couldn't have done this without people who believed in us, people who worked with us. To Cisco, Ford Foundation, Google.org, Humanity United, Knight Foundation, MacArthur Foundation, Media Network, Rockefeller Foundation, USAID, DFID, and CEDAR. Thank you for believing in us. Thank you for working with us, and we look forward to partnering with you in the future. But why are we here today? For the last 3 years, the team at Ushahidi has been conducting in-depth user surveys, talking to our deployers, talking to our users to ask them, what do they find easy and where do they need help? How can we build a tool for them that allows them to focus on their work that they're doing and not have to worry about technology? That tool is a better, faster, lighter, easier to use new Ushahidi platform. There's some key differences between what we built before and what we've learned now that's allowed us to change our tool. For example, we've updated our complete user interfaces, making it easier for you to interact with Ushahidi with any device, from the most basic mobile phone to the highest powered computer. We've got your back. We've rebuilt our website, we've built our tools with responsive technology that allows you to connect from anywhere and collect data no matter where it's coming from. Now that you have the data, we've made it easier for you to process that data, to identify what data you need to make good decisions, to get a real-time pulse on the situation that you're dealing with, to understand what's happening on the ground. The new Ushahidi platform makes it easier for you to make smart decisions. It's now easier to collaborate around your data by making it easy to receive data from multiple sources. Anything out there that can send you information, we've more or less got you covered and allows you to process it efficiently. There are new ways how to respond to the issues that come in that, again, allow you to understand the nature of your data very quickly. An interactive map, a list bar, and here our new timeline allows you with a very quick glance to see something quickly and actually explain what's happening on the ground to decision makers. You've got the data, you've processed it, you understand it. We've now made it easier to share your data through our new visualizations tools, including the map and our rebuilt charts inside the platform. A new activity view tells you the health of your deployment from a quick glance on one screen. And perhaps most importantly, in the new version of Ushahidi, the ability to truly respond to issues from within the platform without having to pull together multiple platforms to perform the same tasks. So, no matter what problem you're trying to solve, no matter what crisis you're in the middle of, no matter what situation you're trying to get out of, you may have many problems, but technology won't be one of them. Let's have a quick look how this works in the real world. You heard a bit earlier about QuakeMap in Nepal and the fantastic work they've been doing there to pull their country up since the earthquake in April this year. We migrated all the data from QuakeMap back into the new Ushahidi platform and under the same structures that the team on the ground that was using to respond to the map. Let me walk you through how powerful this can be. One of the messages they received was someone asking for urgent medical attention in one of the villages in Nepal. In the new version of Ushahidi, all these messages can come in, the verification process, the collaboration process, the escalation process, all happen from directly within the platform. In this sense, they were able to send the message straight to the Nepal army. Now in April, when they contacted the Nepal army, they may have had to go out of Ushahidi. And the army responded. They were able actually to airlift the people out of this situation from the information they received from QuakeMap. In the new Ushahidi platform, you'd be able to put all that information in one place. You don't have to leave the platform. They can update it right there so that you can able to track the report and close it out, all in one central place. This is what we mean by changing the way information flows. Collecting data from anyone on any device, anywhere. Bringing that data into Ushahidi where it becomes a post, and it's assigned steps that allow your team to quickly and efficiently process the data as they see fit. So for example, your verification steps, or maybe even your translation steps. Once your data is in a position for you to use it, you decide what you want to see. With clever filters, clever searches, you're allowed to play around with the data to see what you really want to see and filter out anything else you don't want to see. And finally, you're able to present that data and visualizations, whether it's a map, a chart, a graph, to the people who need to make the decision from that data immediately. We're doing much more than just launching a new platform today. Ushahidi is launching a new way of doing business. We believe that there's a market out there, that people out there are passionate about open source technology that is built for social good. We're a mission-driven company, and we don't believe that we should have to sacrifice our mission in order to become financially sustainable. We want to always build tools that allow people to raise their voice and get the help they need when they need to do it. We want to show that in the 21st century, you can build a technology platform for good and still remain financially sustainable. As such, today we're launching our new software as a service business model while maintaining our vision and remaining to build open source technology. This is going to be an exciting journey for us, and one that would welcome you to join us on. There's a very special group of people without whom the last 7 years would not have been possible. Our families have supported us and stood through us as we've built this technology platform and have kept us safe and have kept us humble. Another special group of people are my teammates at Ushahidi from 10 different countries around the world, spread over multiple time zones, who come into work every day aiming to build technology for social good. Let's hear from some of them.
Microphone check 1 1 2 now. Kiwashanari madhari taonja vibari missing not desiba benko tukati.
Why do I work at Ushahidi? I think I can sum it up in one word and say impact.
I'm Nathaniel Manning. I'm the COO at Ushahidi. And I work at Ushahidi because we're changing the paradigm of the technology industry, showing that technology can come from anywhere.
I'm a director at Ushahidi, currently working with the Making All Voices Count program. What I love about Ushahidi is that it's an organization that serves people.
This entails supporting citizen-led initiatives to better engage with governments, both at a local and at a national level.
I'm coming to you live, or at least pre-recorded, from a very wet and rainy and green Georgia in the United States of America. I joined Ushahidi for a couple different reasons. One, I was really excited to work for a tech company. My background is in development, humanitarian affairs, and you see a lot of people trying to do tech or working with people to do tech, and I really wanted to get my hands dirty and see how a tech company was run and how it operated. So that's been very, very instructive.
Hi, my name is Chris. I'm a project manager here at Ushahidi. So I love this place because we get to change people's lives.
People who are involved in situations like earthquakes or any kind of crisis.
I really love that, and it's what gets me up at night sometimes and in the morning to come to work and gets me through the hard time.
It's also fantastic that I get to interact with smart people from around the world every day, my colleagues here at Ushahidi, and that together we're constantly thinking about dealing with the biggest challenges that we face in our society while at the same time having a lot of fun doing it.
The reason why I love working for Ushahidi is one, there's so much room for creating impact by building technology tools.
I work for Ushahidi for several reasons. Number one, the people are a ton of fun to work with. The work is very challenging and creative. And most importantly, I believe in the mission that drives everything we do.
Ushahidi realizes that everyone has a story, and with a platform, it makes every story more audible to the rest of the world.
I love working for Ushahidi because of the impact it has on society.
And what Ushahidi does through the work of changing the way information flows is very much lined up to that.
I worked for Ushahidi because I was so inspired by all of the different deployments that were out there before I began, and by the people who work at Ushahidi. It's a really great group of very, very smart people all over the world coming in with different perspectives. We're all working together to build a product.
The environment is very challenging. We have an all-hands-on-deck approach where everyone is involved and get their hands dirty.
I work for Ushahidi because I get to work on software that makes a difference in the world. It lets people help themselves and help their communities.
I love working at Ushahidi because of, well, pretty much everything.
So we do a lot of things with data. We are all about data-driven decision making, whether you're a grassroots NGO or whether you're the head of state of a fantastic country. And we believe maps is one of the ways that we can communicate data.
Maps give life to any story. Whenever something happens, with a map you're able to zoom in and see this is a place where it's happened, and it gives you context.
Why do I work for Ushahidi? Because I want to build code, software that helps people, so here I am. And as far as our latest release, I'm most excited about the updates to visual presentation and usability. I think that's a big step forward for the Ushahidi platform.
Our software has been deployed in 160 countries over 100,000 times. And we've really built a very strong team now, and we're going to keep improving the software and listen to our users even more.
I'm really excited about what's coming up next with the Ushahidi platform because it's the outcome of a number of years of hard work.
My favorite features for the new platform, the Ushahidi version 3, is the visualization features.
The V3 platform makes it easy to create many different kinds of workflows.
Why I'm excited about the launch of version 3 is because to me it means that we are improving on the older versions.
So I find that the platform is more intuitive. You can customize what you can collect. There are actually customizable fields that allow you to split things up in steps so that you have a workflow that does many of the things that you need to do. So I find it more intuitive.
So you can imagine the kind of impact we're definitely going to have. The opportunities for large impact are just immense and wide.
I'm Daudi Were, and I'm delighted to be part of the Ushahidi team. Very proud of our teammates from around the world. Nairobi to Accra, Tokyo to Toronto, Austin, Winsville, in Spain, everywhere on this continent you find someone working for Ushahidi. Our new platform is available today at ushahidi.com. So I urge you to please go register, play around with it, have fun with it, and let us know what you think as we help you to raise your voice. This map, every white dot on this map represents a Ushahidi post from the last 7 years. The last 7 years have been fantastic. We thank you for coming with us on this journey. We thank you for partnering with us. And the next 7 years will even be better. Thank you for attending today's Ushahidi launch, and we're delighted to have hosted you, and we look forward to interacting with you more in the future. Thank you. For those of you in Nairobi, we want to show you what we're talking about, so please join us upstairs for a cocktail. You'll find a group of people wearing badges saying, "Ask me anything." So ask them about Ushahidi, and we'll fill you in on what the Ushahidi platform can do for you and the work that you're doing today. Thank you very much for coming. Good evening.